Let me on drink, baby. With drink on me. You know? Hey, baby. I go in. They know me. I call you back, baby. You like going in the show, baby. I gotta talk to you all day. You like,
we got Drippy here. We got Drippy here. I'm getting him ready. He on the phone. Baby. We're going to get him in a second.
Hey. Dímelo, papi, you want to need that high one, I gotta stay close, you know, baby?
You guys is crazy.
How you doing, papi?
What's up, sir?
Shaking my hand, okay. Hey, I see you. You see me? I see you.
Yo, he's not even gonna let me get my story, so you know what? We're gonna go right to it.
Come on, you can do your story, baby. I wait for you, baby. I go live, you know?
Yo, so today, right, me and my boy Raji, we was like on like not a retreat, but we were just out doing some business, and one of my mentors, she was talking to me about getting where you want to go in life. So I was, you know, challenged because, you know, where I come from, a lot of stereotypes and different types of, you know, I guess you could say beliefs can always hold you back. So I feel like when I learn knowledge, I gotta share it. So one of the things that she told me is, because she's real believing about vibration, and she real believes about power and what you speak into existence. So one of the things she told me was, she was like, yo, the only way you're gonna get where you gotta go is that you gotta cut off all that negative energy that you used to attach to yourself. So I was thinking about what she was saying, and actually, which is crazy, is that in my horoscope, it was saying the same thing. So what I'm saying to all y'all out there, if you got something that you're aspiring to do and you want to do something, definitely, like, if you feel somebody's holding you back and you're not supporting what you're doing, or you feel like, you know, yeah, you're doing more, let's say you have a partnership and you put in more work than the next person, maybe you need to reevaluate your whole situation. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes people that may not be for you may be holding you back from where your true blessing is. So today's word is at peace. So she had me actually be at peace with myself with the decisions I have made in these past few months that she doesn't even know, bro. Like, she was talking, and the crazy thing is that I made these certain decisions in the past few months because I knew that for me to get where I gotta go, I gotta do certain cleansing in my soul and with certain things. So it's not personal. It's just something that you have to do in life to get where you want to go, and that's just basically it. So if you feel you in that realm, and I know I have a couple of people in here that's business owners and stuff like that are aspiring, you know, business owners and stuff. I just really feel like you have to do that for the sake of your business or the sake of whatever you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, I appreciate everybody that follows me. Raji appreciates it, even though he be behind the camera all the damn time. But we do appreciate y'all with y'all following us and stuff. I mean, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't even do this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I see the results. But I got Drippy here. So I gotta pay him attention before he goes crazy.
I go crazy, baby. They paging me, baby. You know, I tell them no call
me.
Tell
who you are, bro.
You know, I'm Drippy, baby. You know, I get pages from them all the time. You know, I don't know what to do. I tell them to tell you. They don't wait, baby. You know. So today we're on the show, baby, because you want to get to know me. I want to get to know you, baby. You know what I'm saying? I say, baby, a lot. Don't take it personal. I just be around a lot of ladies. You know what I mean, baby?
You on the phone, so you got the flip.
Hey, I thought I'd call you back, man. You can't call him back.
You gotta call him back.
Hey, okay, what's poppin'?
So what's going on, bro?
You know, ¿qué pasa, baby? You know, hey, no thing. You know, just a regular day in the neighborhood for me, baby. You know, I don't know about you.
Yeah, you know, it's another day, brother.
I see you got that president.
Yeah, for you, bro. You got
No president for me, baby, because me, baby, I leave. They call me and I definitely leave the show right in the middle. You know, that the president do to me. I can't tell you, baby. I can't tell you, baby.
Yo, man. Listen, man. So where you from, man?
Hey, me, baby, you know, that's 5'7", baby. You know what I'm saying? When out there block, baby, you gonna see that. You know what I mean? We're not doing for fun, baby. You know, that's from Corona, baby. You know, you don't think this sometimes we think they're Corona, baby. That's what I'm saying. But anyways, you know, Left Rack City, baby. You drive by us every day. You know, you see us. Hey.
Hey, Natalie, what's good? When's your birthday?
It was Natalie, baby.
Natalie's, yeah, she's a...
It's my birthday?
Yeah,
Natalie not paging me, baby, so I don't know who that is, baby, you know? You know, my birthday, baby, February 2nd, baby, 86. You know what I'm saying? 86, baby, you know?
You said February 2nd.
Yeah, dímelo, baby, you know? ¿Qué pasa? Dímelo, baby. I see you back there. You look at me, I look at you. Okay? I see you.
So, man, like, how can I get on your show? How can Raji get on your show, man?
Hey, baby, anybody can get on my show, baby. You would DM me, baby. But make sure you don't DM me with your girl stuff, because I might DM her back, baby, if you're going through, baby. You know? She not paging me neither. But anyways, you know, rainchecklive, baby. Rainchecklive production. So it's two things, you know what I'm saying? My personal page, rainchecklive. You check me out, baby. Me and Drippy, we go to your neighborhood. We get to know you, baby. You know, we got 2 questions at a time. Who are you, and what do you do, baby? You know what I'm saying? That's it. Dímelo.
Just to let you know, your life path number is a 10.
I appreciate that, you know what I'm saying? 10 toes down, baby, you know what I'm saying? I stand up. You see me, baby? You see my shots, you know what I mean? These are here. These are, oh, God, I put everything in here, man. You know, you can never lose anything with these.
Yo. So, What's exactly all right, Drippy? You gotta let Rain talk right now.
Okay, man.
All right. What exactly is Rain Check Live Productions for people that don't know?
So, Rain Check Live Productions, when I first started, I was trying to figure out a name, right? And my name is Rain, so I never wanted to change that. Everything I did was live, and it's live, and then we just checking in. You know, Rain Check. Sometimes we have a conversation and you might want to talk about something, you may not. So for me to give you the safe word, you know, it was give me a rain check on that. You know, for me, I don't ever want to pull something out of somebody or make them feel like I'm attacking them. You know, we got to build up our community in all aspects. You know, sometimes I think in general, we use things that we may not need to be who we are, right? Some people drink and they say that's the real you. So if you can drink and know you did something or said something, why you can't do that without it? You know what I mean? So for me, Rain Check Live is just going around and showing people different neighborhoods, because I travel and I do interviews from state to state, trying to get more out of the country. And when I'm traveling, I'm noticing, like how you said, you can go to any hood and be cool. Right. Same thing for me, right? I travel by myself all the time. People used to think I was from Brooklyn. People used to think I was from Harlem, like everywhere, because I'm always there and I'm by myself. And I'm able still to be in the area, and I feel like if I could do it, what's the difference? You know what I mean? So, and it's like we always have these problems where we butt heads with our cultures, and we shouldn't. We should be uplifting each other. So if I could go to your neighborhood and talk to you about something, and I go to another neighborhood and talk to them about something, it kind of connects, then you can really see there's no difference. We always competing against each other, but we need to be helping, uplifting each other in a sense. You know
That's facts, because we actually, it's one of the things we were talking about with my mentor today. She was just saying, like, as black men sometimes, it's like, you know, I feel like, you know, like, it's like, you know, or it's not just minorities in general. I feel like it's like a thing where it's like, it's a stigma where you feel as if you can't just be like, you know, just like. You
just can't be you. Like, I can honestly, it's the truest thing. Before I left New York to start really traveling, when I would like be in New York and I would walk around, I would have a certain persona. But when I left and I started seeing how people would be like, hey, what's up? Now when I walk through, I don't care what neighborhood I'm in. I'm not no thug. I play my lane. I do what I do. But my thing is, like, if I could walk by you and say what's up and make you feel comfortable, then you know I'm not out here to do something to you.
Facts.
When you start walking in certain neighborhoods and you start being tough and you start doing this, you kind of...
You attract that.
You attract that. Like, and I think that I don't want to be tough. I'd rather help you. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not saying like it can't happen, but I've never been robbed, and I don't think it would happen to me, because I'm not here to bring that off on somebody. If somebody was trying to rob me, I'd be like, yo, you need some help. What you want me to help you with? Because I know enough people to help you, rather than you run around and get robbing people and ending up in jail, than to, you know, let's do something together to build something that you may need. You know what I mean? Like drug dealers, they really good at selling drugs because they know how to do certain things. But if you transform that into something that's legal, right, marketing or something else, you know how much money they really could be making and be stacking and not worrying about who's this and who's that. Like, you know, so it's just thinking about stuff like that. Like, how can we build in our community?
Very good. That's positivity. That I'm definitely like. That's one of the reasons why I'm not gonna curse. I told Roger's pops I ain't gonna curse. But that's one of the reasons why I definitely mess with what you do. Always liking what you're doing. I see what you're doing. You know, I just been like really, you know, because you interviewed me when you first started. You know what I'm saying? You support my movement, and I said I gotta get him on here. It's just that, like, you know what I'm saying, like. I just got bombarded with a whole bunch of like different things, you know what I'm saying. I know you got your own thing. I know you travel a lot. But I'm 100% supportive of what you do, like, because you're trying to breed the positivity that our people need. You know what I'm saying?
We need that though.
Yeah, it's because right now we lose. I keep telling people that
we need that, honestly, because with the way I grew up, a lot of people see me as a nice person, and that's cool. I want them to be like that because I grew up in a family that was really in the streets. Like, niggas won't approach me or do certain things to me because they know about my family, but I don't carry that around with me. I carry around more positive stuff because I know that if I was to carry that, I try to be like that, you could end up a certain way. I don't want to end up like that, and I don't want people around me to end up like that, and I don't want people that I know that's grown up in that space. Like, if you sell drugs, I'm like, okay, you sell drugs, but what is your goal? Are you saving money to buy a business? Are you saving money to do something else, to expand, to get away from selling drugs? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing?
You can't be selling drugs till you 40 years old.
Yeah, you can't. So it's like, you know, growing up in that like environment from my mother, my brother, my father, like everybody, uncles, all that shit. Like, I wanted to come out of that, part of my language. But so I felt like there's plenty of times I could have ran in the street and grabbed up something, and you know, no matter what it was, you add it up, you know. But then that's not me. So it's like, let me figure out something that I can do.
How you doing, Miss Denise?
And be positive.
Miss Denise says I love me some Rain
Yeah,
Richards.
that's my aunt right there.
That's my Miss Denise. Yo, Miss Denise, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know you also changed my mindset on a lot of things too. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gotta speak on it here, but you know how the conversation that we have had. And I definitely appreciate you. Everybody appreciates you. No one forgot who you are. And you know what I'm saying? So the love is definitely there, you know? So Rain said he love you too. So yeah, you know? Yeah, so
and and I think too, like, we all grew up around some kind of form of death, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes we take that and we use that as an excuse. You know, I'm 33. Since I was 22, I lost somebody every year from 22 on. You know, from best friends, like I watched my best friend take his last breath, to my favorite uncle on my birthday. Last year I lost my mother.
Man, rest
you
in
know,
peace,
just a lot of stuff in general. You know what I'm saying? And some people take that and be like, you know, fuck that. I don't care. Nah, I'm not. You know what I mean? Because those people left good things in my life, so I'm gonna, you know, give them that honor by doing something better and more for people in my life or that's around me. Encouraging them, you know, telling them that they can be better than that. It doesn't have to be always come out to result into violence. Like, you really, like you said, the energy and the people you keep around you really make you who you are.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Even from your family to your friends. Like, even if your family ain't treating you right, then that means you don't need to be around them. Just because it's blood, that don't mean it has to be.
Crazy you said that, right?
You know what I mean? Like,
that's what's the name was saying today.
It's hard for a lot of people to pull themselves because they expect certain things from people.
Yep.
Like me and my mother, I love my mother. Me and my mother can have an argument. I go outside, somebody do something, it's over. You know what I'm saying? Even for my sister and my family, that's how I was brought up. But everybody's not going to be on the same page as you and your wave or whatever you're trying to get to do, right? Like for you doing the show, right? If it wasn't for him and you, y'all wouldn't be able to do this.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a teamwork, and everybody don't have that, but sometimes we look in the wrong places for it. And when you find it, it's a good thing. You got to keep it genuine. You got to, like, try to make sure it's a give and take where it's equal. It's not like I'm taking, because you want to be treated the same way you want somebody to treat you, so you got to show that.
Yeah, show that.
But don't count. I hate counters. You know what I mean? Unless you're talking about money, that's about it.
Well,
but you know what I mean? But you know, it's just like, for me, I grew a lot in the aspect of even understanding women, and I don't say that I understand them fully, but a lot of men or people are stuck in their feelings so much they don't look in the mirror or step outside themselves and understand what other people are going through. Right? Like, you may be going through something, that should be like, that ain't that bad. But to you, that shit is a lot. But to me, it's nothing. You understand? So everybody has levels, and I think that's the hardest part about life is communication levels and keeping yourself in a rounded area where people can understand you. And you can grow as a person. Because when you look at these little kids now, we older, and we be like, yo, he got the potential to do this, or he got the potential to do that. But you never looked at yourself and told yourself that. Like, you have the same potential, but you have to push yourself. You know what I mean? Because we could get whatever. Like, if you wanted a car, or if you ever wanted something and you got it, and you was like, oh, I got it now, what do I want? You got it because you worked at it, you put your effort into it, but some people are scared or they don't have that worth in it.
My sister said, Rain, one of the realest dudes I know. Yeah, I mean, my family loves you, bro. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you've always been positive, bro. So, you know what I'm saying? I mean, how did you go from the transition of playing ball to becoming, like, an actor and doing your comedy and stuff like that?
I'm gonna be honest with you, and I think the only person I probably told this, or a couple people, was Dane. I told Dane, I said, I played ball because I saw my mother cry one day, and she couldn't pay for how she was paying for bills in my brother's school, and I told myself my mother wouldn't pay for my college. The only reason why I play ball.
Really?
I never played ball because I like ball. I never liked ball.
You was good, so I mean.
But I never really played. Like, I played it just so I can be good enough to get to college. When I got to college, even when I got to college and I graduated, I wasn't even going to go back to graduation. But I went back because it was in Kentucky. And the only time I really understood what that meant was when I walked across the stage and I was shaking the president's hand. I really stopped there for like 10 seconds. Like, they had to tell me to move because that's how, like, I was like I didn't care about it. But when I stood up there and I saw that I finished something that I just did for my mother, it was like, yo, I could really do whatever I want if I want to, but I have to put that effort in. And I don't feel like I'm any different than anybody else, but I just feel like the basketball taught me how to work hard. And if you really want something, you gotta be resilient.
That's right.
So that was really it.
Yeah, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy because he was one of the best players in the hood, like, you know, to me, from your era. You know what I'm saying? So for you telling me that, because basketball, usually you have to have a real passion for it to play because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. A lot of people just see, oh, yeah, a lot of people think you just get on the court and you just shoot a basketball and you got talent and that's it. Nah, you got to be dedicated to work yourself out. You got to get up in the morning. You got to work out. That's what happened. The reason why I stopped playing because I lost love for the game. Once I knew I stopped loving it, it was like I didn't want to do it no more. It became like a job. You know what I'm saying? That's why, like, when you see a person like, I'm trying to think who still plays, like, that we know, like, Miguel, he loves basketball, bro. Yeah. Like, I love it, like, watching it, and I might be able to coach, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But he actually, I think he loves the aspect of it, you know what I mean? Kobe, you know, Kobe, he loved to work out. He loved the competition. Like me, I'm more so, like you said, I use it to get my platform to where I'm at, you know, today.
Really
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was like, even when I was younger, I didn't even, my mother asked me did I want to play basketball before, like, I started playing, and I said no, I didn't want to play. Then, like, a year later, a couple months later, Ty and everybody else, Phil and all them started playing, then I started playing. Like, I only played because my friends played. I never even played video games when I was younger because I didn't like video games. I'm dead serious. Like, I was just a regular, like, you know, just chill kind of dude. Like, I would sit there and talk shit, but I wouldn't play. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't that I was a follower, but certain things I just didn't care about.
That's cool. You was just different.
Yeah, so bro. Like, so like when I was playing ball, like I really didn't take it too serious until I was like 16 when I saw my mother cry, and I was like, I'm not. It's not happening.
And that was one of the things. So I kind of felt like I thought that I had to put the fam on the because I was talented enough to. You were too. You went to school for free. I went to school for free. Yeah. So you know, once you cross that path, then you already know you have that burden, not a burden, but that's on your shoulders. You're like, damn, maybe I gotta get them out the hood and things like that. It happens, you know what I'm saying? One of the things I was gonna ask you is how did you and your, like, you know, shout out to my boy Rupert. How did y'all even start collaborating and stuff? I know you're bros, but
like me and my brother was always close, but he just lived far.
Word.
Yeah, because he in Maryland, so that was it. But like when we was young, we wasn't as close. But the one thing I always say to even my oldest brother, to like my sister, to my brother Tony, like I always say I'm the youngest brother, but I'm the oldest brother. I'm the bigger brother. And it's not because I'm taller, or nothing like that, because I am taller than everybody. But it's the point that I dealt with a lot of stuff as a bigger brother would deal with. Mm-hmm. You know, my other brother, he's still locked up, so he couldn't really be there. Yeah. Then my brother Tony, he's like down stuff, so I had to deal with that. And my sister, I'm not saying she's not responsible, but I just was always there. You know, my mother kind of put me in that place, even though I was the youngest. So me and him, like, even, you know, dealing with my mother passing and everything, like, I had to do a lot. Not to say my family didn't do stuff too, but we grew because of things like that. Like, you know, talking to each other, encouraging each other. And sometimes, you know, I'm not comfortable with certain things, so I have to, like, get comfortable with it. And talking to my brother or doing, or, like, collabing with my brother, it was easier. Because I'm like, yo, you do this and I'm going to do this. Nah, don't do it like that. Do it like this. And then now I can do this. And it kind of came together. You know, and it taught me, it was teaching me how to work with people, speak to people, how to, like, get something out of people that you may want, and just, you know, numerous stuff like that.
Yeah, man, I seen y'all grow from being like young kids, young boys into men, and it's like y'all always gonna have a special place. Like I was there, like, with the Tyshawn and the Tone. I went through all that, bro, and it hurt. Tyshawn was a great dude. That was your best friend. Yeah. That was a great dude, and then, you know, Tone, that was tragic, and then it's like. You stay positive through all of that, and a lot of people would, like you said, they would fall for that, bro. Yeah. A lot of people would go the wrong route, and you actually stay positive. So I salute you on that. I never told you that, but that's one of the things. I don't know if you remember that time we was in the church, and I was like, yo, I don't want to see none of y'all. I just can't. No more of y'all, bro. Like, yeah, I know y'all. I see y'all every day. Like, come on, bro.
That's the toughest thing, just in general. Like nowadays, is that, like, I was really brought up, like I said, I go to, like, any neighborhood, and I was brought up, like, you had to fight. So, like, I go to the neighborhood and I tell them, like, yo, if you want to fight, we can fight. I can take it out. But if you talking about guns, that's not me. Not to say that I can't get somebody to do that or handle that part, but, like, I'm always, and I'm not saying, like, now, but I was always ready to fight. You understand? And nowadays, kids are always ready to shoot. I'd rather take an L or punch in the face or get beat up and be like, you know what, I take that. You know what I'm saying? Because at least I fought. That was one thing that I was taught from my mother, everybody. Like, if you had a problem with somebody, my mother like, yo, we going outside, you gonna fight them. You know what I mean? Or you got a problem with somebody, you gonna fight them, you better fight back. If you get beat up, oh well. Yes, and Theo too, yeah.
So Theo too. You know, somebody just Siobhan just said it,
yeah. Theo too, like, like each one of those deaths was really hard for me because for the most part, for at least except for Ty, with Tone and Theo, I saw, like, the last time I saw them, I was joking around with them and they was smiling. So Theo slapped me because I was asleep and I woke up and then, like, I was so tired I just was like whatever. And for Tone, like, the last time I saw him was my birthday. I got too drunk. But, like, we was dancing, we was all dancing, joking around. You know, Tone was always dancing.
Yeah,
like,
always dancing, yeah, right.
So he was battling, you know, I was hyping him, joking around, and, you know, I wound up waking up the next day or whatever, or, like, sometime down the line, because I went back to school, then what happened to him happened. And, you know, I don't know, like, for me, I did go through a state of depression, so I'm not going to say it wasn't, like, just easy. But when you know yourself and you know that you have more potential outside of using certain drugs like drinking or smoking weed or something like that, sometimes you gotta pull yourself out of that if you really want to be successful. You know what I mean? That drug is still like, it's like the energy. Like, if you have negative energy around you, that can drain you. You know what I mean? It's draining. Like, now I speak to people, if I feel like they're negative or something, I explain to them that, you know, for me, it's a lot. You know, and it's draining. I care about you. I may want to be there for you in certain ways, but I can't unless you put yourself in a positive space. You know what I mean? And I've learned from a lot of conversation with people, like, a lot of people in this world is really not as happy as they say they are.
You know, a lot of y'all, like I said, like, you know, like, a lot of people asking y'all, you know, like, what motivates me to do what I do, and like this stuff. There's people like you. It's people like somebody who just said what's up, like Justice. You know, Justice stays for, like, that gym game. Yo, Justice, we I know you ain't here, but y'all drive me. It's not a competition. It's more so like it's a motivational thing. Like, I see y'all doing, I'm like, I gotta work just as hard as you are. You feel what I'm saying? And the reason why I say that is because that's a passion. You love what you're doing. He loves what he's doing. I love what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta say something about Just. Just one thing about Just, for me, Just was one of the people that kind of got me into, like, really knowing that I like recording and doing stuff like documentaries and all this type of stuff. I was you know, I was in a space where I just left New York. I was just like, it was too much going on with family, friends, everything. I just felt cluttered and I left. And before I left, I was talking about, like, yo, how you do this or how you edit or whatever. Like, I didn't know nothing about it. I just knew that, you know, I threw on this camera, record, we talk, and that's it. And when I spoke to him and he did that, it was like a kind of, for lack of better words, like a stepping stone or something. Like, where he said something that kind of triggered me to think about every time. Even when I was younger, I never really wanted to be in pictures. I didn't mind taking them. I always wanted to take them, or I always had cameras around. I was like, he kind of got me into what I was, you know, why I do what I do, in a sense. You know, not to say I didn't know it, but I just, sometimes we do stuff and we don't even know.
Yeah, so, you know, it's like, you know, definitely. This is one of the people that don't know how, I wanted to see how deep of a person you were, you know what I'm saying? You actually just definitely proved my point. But who are some of your inspirations in acting and comedy, since we're just flipping it off right now?
Well, the crazy thing is, like, when he said, like, Martin Lawrence is really one of mine, and it's funny, but I like Will Smith. I'm gonna be honest, because I used to watch Fresh Prince all the time.
Yeah, you know what's funny, bro?
I like Fresh Prince was it.
He always gets overlooked, son.
Yeah, he does. And my biggest thing is what I want to get somewhat into doing is something like Living Color. Like, that was dope to me. You know, like, I'm really like an old soul in a sense. Like, I used to like that. And it's not really too much of comedy, but I used to like stuff like the Cosbys or just a lot of, I'm really like, I'm not an extremist, but I'm really pro-black when it comes to supporting our community. You know, the other day I was about to go buy one of those bags that they be having over, and instead of going to buy it from Nike, I went and brought it from Norway because I felt like I'd rather spend my money helping somebody or giving it to somebody that is trying to do better than just give it to a company that already established.
Yeah, facts. You know what I'm saying? That's the only things we gotta change our mindset. Like, you know what I'm saying? We gotta start spending money with people that's, you know, that's trying to get there. You know what I'm saying? Or not saying our own necessarily, but more so somebody that's doing the same thing you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all like a circle. You know what I'm saying? One do one for the other do for the other. You know what I'm saying? And that's actually a valid point. You know what I'm saying? I also see that you model and stuff. I mean, that comes easier as your acting and stuff.
Well, modeling is something I've always wanted to try, but it wasn't something I've ever really put effort into. I honestly, just a couple people that I ran into throughout life, like that I just kind of met and became friends with or really close to. they just would send me out stuff like, you should try it. And I'm like, yeah, I do, but I don't really know too much about it.
Yeah.
So it was just like, okay, let me try it. And then I wound up, the craziest thing is when I had that shoot with Carmelo Anthony.
I was just about to bring it up.
When I had that shoot with Carmelo Anthony, his line, it was funny because a friend gave it to me, but I was at work working in somewhere in Brooklyn. I had called them and I was like, well, I'm not gonna be able to get there until like 4:30, and the thing ended at 4, but I wound up not getting until 5:30, and they still took me. And when I got there, it was like, you know, for me, when I'm doing stuff like that, I'm not as passionate, but I'm passionate for it. So it's in the sense like if it happens, I'm blessed, but if it doesn't, it's like, you know, I still can keep on going. Mm-hmm. And when I got that, I was kind of excited. It kind of built my confidence for certain things. So it was a good experience.
Great. Well, we already talked about. I mean, I asked anyway. Do you still play ball anyway? Like you shoot around?
Yeah. I'm really into health. My health to me is really important. My mother. Okay, so I so-called inherited a trait that my mother had. So I'm a lot of people may not know. Some people do know, but I'm a diabetic. Mm-hmm. So for me, my health wasn't the best, even though I look in shape at times, but. Dealing with that can be a struggle, and it was hard because it's like you'll try, and sometimes it still doesn't pan out like how you want to. But the one thing, like I said, I always had was to be resilient. You know what I mean? So dealing with that kind of health, it was serious. When I first found out about it was actually when I was playing ball, and I was coming back from. I went to Vegas. Okay. You know how you go to Vegas. So I went to Vegas playing ball.
Love that.
Yeah, right? I went like 4 times, but like
Me too.
this one time we went out there, so I'm playing, and it's regular contact. You know, I'm a physical person, but I tried to do a regular move, and the dude bumped me, and I fell. Like, I didn't fall on some like regular fall, like I fell, and I was like it was like confusing to me. Like, so I had told the coach I didn't want to play, and then. You know, even when I was trying to eat, I still didn't know. I was just eating and I couldn't digest stuff. So I wound up just staying in the hotel. I didn't play for like, I think we got there Tuesday and we left at like Friday, and I didn't play the whole time. And when I came back, I could barely stand up. Like I had to get my brother to like walk with me. Like my mother, we was trying to walk to it was like 2-3 blocks to the doctor's office. Every time she stopped, I had to like sit down. Like I couldn't stand up for nothing. And all I remember was waking up in like ICU like 2 days later. Just
so you was in a coma type situation.
Yeah, it was like really bad. Like it was too high, so they had to like put me in like a coma. But like when I came out, you know, I still was like, you know, kind of determined to do it. I was like it was like between the diabetes and my mother crying, it was like I gotta do something. So for college, so that's where it came from, like my resiliency, just to keep pushing. And now it's just really more so just health. Like I play ball now. I haven't played really like that in over like 6 years. I had like knee surgery at one time, and now it's just trying to just stay in shape and just keep my health right because I got 2 kids, so I got to make sure I'm
Yeah, tell us about your kids. How old are your kids, man?
My daughter is 6 and my son is 4, going on 24. So yeah, you know, he's just one of them young old kids. But yeah, I love my kids. They're funny. They're honestly my reason why I even live in New York. Because if it wasn't for them, I'd probably be back in LA. But they inspire me to be great. You know, and they inspire me to stay positive and to like be who I am. You know what I'm saying? Because I want them to be who they are, so I gotta be who I'm gonna be.
Fact. You know, so, that's great. Yeah, you're definitely a great dad. I see you always with your kids, bro. Yeah. Always trying to, even so now I see you incorporating your son in some of the video, which is hilarious to me.
He's funny. First time he saw me put this on, he was like, "What is that?"
Maybe we need a little Drippy.
Like, come on, deal with it, Bobby. Come on.
You know what I'm saying? Tell us about the charities and stuff that you be doing. Like I see, like the purple charities y'all be doing. I mean, I know about it, but I need you to tell people that don't know about it. Act like
so.
People, you know?
This it's funny. This is probably our 11th year that we're gonna do a toy drive. We do a toy drive every year since my friend passed away, my godbrother Ty, and the toy drives is really to give back to the less fortunate. We give back to people in domestic violence. We've given back when they had the storm out in Far Rock. I can't remember what it was exactly, but we gave out to churches out there. You know, even we go to other toy drives and give them toys. It's just a lot. Like for me, I love to help. So even in this year, I did in dedication to my mother, I did a fundraiser. It was all about women. It was all women vendors. All the vendors had to pay a certain amount of money. It wasn't a lot. It was like $40. We wound up raising like $600, and we gave it back to the school that I work at, and we bought graduation pictures. We bought a prom dress for somebody. We sponsored like 3 kids to go to what is that? It's like some Italian restaurant that they went to. But that's what I do. I just like to raise money and give back because, you know, some people can really figure it out and make money. A lot of people can't. And a lot of people don't see that they have potential to do a lot of things unless they see it in front of them. So I love working with kids, but I say it all the time. I love working with kids, but I don't know about adults. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how I feel about it. Because I could take it a kid because it's a kid. And then half of the time when you see the kid, you're like, why he's like that? And then you see their parents and you understand. So it's never the kid's fault. You know what I mean? Because if you really think about it, right? A kid comes out a blank sheet. Everything they see after that is now you're writing on their sheet, giving them what they are, who they are. So when you be like, well, how they learned that? It got to be come from somewhere or somebody that they was around. You know what I mean? So I want to be on that sheet in a big print with positive energy, and you could do it, and I know I'm going to do it. And if somebody slap me and I fall down, I'm going to get up and fight again. If somebody, push me, I'm going to get up and fight again. So, just numerous things. This year we also going to do I want to get the police and the fire station, like a fire station, to have like a game run for like Thanksgiving and raise money for some of the less fortunate, and buy some turkeys and all that kind of good stuff. Just a lot of stuff is coming up this year and next year, giving back to our communities.
Yeah, that's great. You know what I'm saying? We need more people like you, more people that's even trying to put the positive energy back into the neighborhood. We need that right now. Like, all this negativity is what's popping right now, which I really don't agree with. But, this is going to take people like you and others to definitely push the positivity and, change the narrative of our people, because right now, negativity is breeding too much. This is going too crazy.
But you also gotta remember this too. The negativity that we have a lot of positive stuff, but we focus too much on the negative stuff.
Facts.
There's a lot of like positive black people, a lot of positive Spanish people, a lot of positive white people, whatever color it is. It's a lot of positive people, but we focus and we're so entertained by the negative that we forget about the positive. I was talking to somebody the other day in Atlanta. They have they're getting a supermarket that's all black owned. Everything from cell phones, toothpaste, whatever you buy from a regular store, they're gonna have. And it's called We Buy Black. I don't owe them nothing like that, but I talk about it because those are things that are positive in our neighborhood. You can go in the neighborhood and you probably know a couple more people that's positive, but you probably would still, your natural reaction is to talk about negative stuff first, right? And even if you are a rapper and you're trying to be something, that's still positive in a sense, because you're only talking about what you know, but it's still going in a direction that you're trying to be better than just staying out in the streets or running around and doing something negative. So we do have a lot of positive stuff in our worlds, but we just, who was it? Cardi B was talking about it. She was like, she'd rather talk about sex and all this because that's what you buy, but there are a bunch of female rappers out there that are really way better than her or nice.
Crazy thing you just brought that up. So the other day, one of the podcasters that I follow, she actually followed me back. I want y'all to go check this out. Actually, in this episode, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the link in about what you said about Cardi B. Now listen, I know Cardi B. I've met her a couple of times. She's actually a cool person. She is.
Yeah.
But the message that she did the other day about, you talking about when she was talking about the levels and stuff, right?
I don't know if see the level. I didn't see the level.
But she was talking about necessarily there's levels to being, I don't know if it was a hoe, but she was saying it was, it was a hoe. It was levels to being a hoe, basically.
Levels to tricking.
Tricking, there you go. It was levels to tricking. So I have a homegirl that she's from Ohio. She has a podcast. She's actually more lit than I am right now, and she's lit. Like, she's lit more than anybody we know. And I follow her just because of the thing that she had posted. So she actually wrote it out what she said, and she explained, because a lot of young girls are looking up to that. So she was like, that basically, but you're not telling people what comes along with that. What comes along to the tricking, meaning like you got to give up your body and do those other kind of crazy stuff. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when she broke it down, me and my boy Roger was watching it the other day, and I instantly followed her off of that because she was breeding the positivity. So we got to stop with this negative connotation. Like, we got to stop thinking, like you said, we got to focus more on the positive. Not saying that Cardi B, she probably was just joking, but she doesn't. I don't think she realized that influence that she has is influencing the younger. And that right there, when she did that, I was like, wow, it's kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? It kind of hit me a different way.
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Understand that part. Like, and even if that's all you know, right? And you speak about that, at least explain that's all you know, or explain why you're talking about it, like you said, because then people will know the difference. You know what I mean? Like, I always tell people, life is like basketball. Even if you don't play basketball, right? Why? Because if you take a shot, there's only two things that can happen.
Yep.
It's either you make it or miss it, right? Now, when you go for that shot, are you gonna go for it like I'm missing, or are you gonna go for like it ain't hitting nothing but the bottom of the net? You know what I'm saying? So, I think like with these rappers and everything that people are doing that's negative, like, you have to really understand that you're influencing people. And I think a lot of people don't know that they're role models, but they're just doing it like, it's just me. I'm just whoever.
Remember
like,
back in the day, Charles Barkley, he said, I'm not a role model.
Yeah.
But Michael Jordan said, you ain't got no choice. And so Kobe said the same thing, you have no choice. You are a role model. There's nothing you have no choice. Once you cross that realm, people are looking at you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, you know what I'm saying? Like, and honestly, you can believe it or not, Rain, you're a role model too.
Oh, yeah.
Some people are looking at you like, yo, I love what Rain is doing, and vice versa. You know, I know that, and that's why I had to change my energy. I knew that once I started reaching more people, I said, nah, this negative shit, I gotta turn it off. Because somebody's thinking, oh, that might be the right way to go about doing things. Yeah. Or that's how Ant really feels that we should be. Or, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not no one big on the scale. You know, we and you both getting started. But what I'm saying is, once you realize that what the power is of energy, man, it can take you a long way.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah,
that's why, and I also say even that, like, even if you are, or you say something negative, you got to explain that, because we all are human. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit here and be like, every day is perfect. Man, I get up days I be mad, but you know what I do say? It doesn't, like, right now my thing is I'm blessed and less stressed, right? Because if you speak it into existence, then it happens, right? So if I don't work on my positive mind, then it's just going to be a bunch of negative just jumping me. You know what I mean? But I feel like the more positive things I say, even if I do hit a negative spot, and somebody look at me like, oh, why you said that? Because I'm human. And because that's how I feel at that moment. I could feel mad. I could feel this way. I could say something and it may not be right, but that's how I was feeling at that moment. And I need to correct myself for the next time. It's a learning thing, but you got to be able to take the negative and the positive, but bring out more positive. There's so many people out here that just take granted for like the littlest things, their fingers, they walking, they jumping, they seeing, and then when they lose something, then they're like, oh,
they want to pray, like, they want to,
oh God, why me, or this and that. No, it's not why you. Things happen because that's how life goes. You know what I mean? Like, and we got to be able to take everything with it and just fight through it.
Where do you see you taking your brand in the next 5 years or not? We ain't gonna put no time limit on it, but where do you see your brand going? So,
my brand to me will go. My biggest thing is I don't want to be like anybody, but I want certain things that Tyler Perry has, as in like he has the ability to go make films. He has the ability to have his own studio. That's what I want. I want those things so I can produce what I want to produce. You know, I don't want to produce the same kind of films he does. I think he's an excellent producer, director, whatever he wants to be. But I want to be my best in that kind of way, being able to have black films, or you know, help and bringing people on and giving them money and doing stuff like even like the guy from the Cosby's. You know, he was broke. Tyler Perry was able to get him back on and help him. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I want to do, because I feel like I want to help my community in that aspect. You know, and like I want to work on that. So even like now when I did the documentary on Left Rack, you know, that was something I never did nothing like that. I just was like, you know what? I want to do something like that, and I keep saying it. I'm doing it. I'm gonna start filming people. You want to talk? Boom. You know, I didn't get everybody from Left Rack, and it wasn't how I wanted it to be. But you have to start somewhere so you can get somewhere. You know what I mean? So that's just what it was for me. Like, just keep building. I'm coming off of like, because I was even in the space of like, kind of like worrying about the likes, if people gonna like it and this and that. But now I just put it out there because I'm only human. You know what I'm saying? And as I grow and I get to a space where things make me happy, I don't care if I get likes or not. I just care about me being happy and enjoying my time with my kids.
That's the thing. Now, what I'm going to tell y'all is, I'm going to give you just a little bit about this whole like bullshit. What it is that, I know y'all see, I have like a following. So my thing is, it's all about consistency, bros. All you got to do is stay consistent and believe in what you feel. You believe what you're doing. You believe it. I know that's what you're meant to do, because that's what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? You know, like you said, some people fake it. can't fake destiny. If it's meant for you to do something, it's gonna happen. No matter what happened to mine, you try to block it and stop it, it's gonna happen for you. So what my thing for you is, like I said, I always told you I want to work with you. Anyway, we worked. What I'm talking about now on another level.
Yeah, definitely.
What I'm saying is that it's just that I feel like, you know, with you, my advice to you is I want you to be a little bit more, especially with Drippy, be a little bit more consistent with that. And yeah, if you need, like you said, because you are an open person for dialogue, which I love about you. You know, don't feel like you can't come to me and ask me how I do something or how do I get somewhere, or you know, vice versa. That's what we have to say as black men. We gotta put that in the air. You gotta tell people that.
Yeah,
so you know what I'm saying? And I don't want nobody to ever feel they can't. Anybody that needs advice can come to me,
some
bro.
Some people don't give it. That's why.
I give it.
That's
how I would do it.
Like even you telling me about the Drippy thing, it's funny because I've heard that from people, like being consistent, and it's not that I'm not consistent because I do have videos ready to put out, but I just haven't put them out because I have everything planned like how I want to.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So like if I wanted to, I go home tonight and
the IG is cutting me off real quick. We're gonna come right back. Come right back. IG's the worst. Okay, keep talking, bro.
So for me, like I have videos. I even have videos on my phone right now that I can show you that I have already set to put up, but I just haven't put them up because for me right now, what's important is that I enjoy my summer with my kids.
Facts. And
that I stay consistent and at least posting like new, like certain things. But when it comes to like the Drippy character, I don't want, like I have like a good 15 videos that I could put out, but I just want to wait and then put them out at a certain time so then I'll be more consistent with
everything. Was good. Yeah.
You know, like even my documentary that's supposed to be coming out, y'all gotta watch that. It's about men growing up with their fathers or forgiveness, right? I haven't saw my father in over 20-some years. Me and my brother went out to see him because that was something my mother really wanted. And for me, I never really cared for him because for me it was like dealing with somebody that uses people in a sense. I'm not gonna say he used people, but like that's what he was used to, and I didn't really care too much for him. But my mother really wanted me to go see him, so I wound up going last year, first time in Jamaica, and we were supposed to go plenty of times, but I never wanted to go because I never wanted to see him. But for my mother, I did that, and when we went, we interviewed him. You know, I have my brother in jail. He's on there talking about some stuff as being growing up in that lifestyle. You know, I have my father talking about him growing up with a father, or him growing up like loving the streets and he didn't have to be in the streets. And then my brother was kind of there, just, you know, he kind of got emotional and really got into it.
This is Rupert.
Yeah, Rupert, right?
That's my guy. Shout out to Rupert.
Yeah, like for me, I couldn't get emotional because I felt like it was the first time meeting him, and I didn't want to put too much of me into the situation. I wanted to build. So, you know, I think it was a good trip for me and my brother because we got to chill, but we also got to see our father for over 20-some years. We got to document some of the stuff. We got to, you know, get out some stuff that help us forgive him for certain things. And I think that's the hardest thing for a lot of us black men is that we didn't have anybody positive to look up to or have a father in the house. So it was like we had to grow up ourselves. And that was an argument that I had with my mother too. Like my mother did a lot for me, but I had to tell her and she couldn't even say I was wrong. I really raised myself in certain aspects of life, you know, from a young age, like, you know, like probably like 9, 10. And not to say that we didn't have food in the house or this and that, but she was working so much. There's certain things that you need a parent or somebody there to guide you through. I didn't get that. You know what I mean? It could have went far left, right, whatever, but it never went that way because I didn't want to be like my father or my brother. You know what I mean? So
that's real. That's real that you even said something like that. Well, the only thing I can tell you is coming from somebody I had my father.
Yeah.
So the one thing I'm going to tell you is that, and this is real spit, like I need you. And I'm glad the first thing you did, the first step was to actually do what you did. Like you went out, even like you say you don't really have a relationship with at all. And that's amazing. Most people would just ignore that. You know what I'm saying? So that tells about your character right there. But even for you, whatever you feel you need from that relationship, get from it. That's what I'm saying. My father, I always tell people this, my father used to always do for other people's kids. And I used to be like, I'm not mad, but I used to be like, damn, you got kids right here. But he told me, he said a lot of people, I never really understood, and that's probably my selfish mindset, state, whatever, that I never understood how people say, yo, I grew up without a father. I just don't know what that means. Like, so that's not my reality. So since that's not my reality, I can't relate, but then through my father, I understood. He said, because it's bigger than you. You have to understand that you're blessed to have a mother and a father. And I had that. So being said, that's why with me, I'm more so with the youth. I'm very accessible. Anybody that needs like any type of advice, I give it to them. Because you need that. You need that male role model. I don't care what anybody tells me. If you're a young man growing up in this society, especially this day and age, you need that, bro. And so, like, I applaud you for even doing that, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's a big step. Some people would be bitter and not even try that, bro. So, but like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just want to say one other thing, man, and I'm done for it. But, like, this is more of a message for women, right? And I'm not trying to be, like, sexist when I say this, but a woman can never raise a kid by themselves. They can raise them, but they're always going to be missing something. A man can never raise a kid by himself. You understand that? And when you're out there and you're being petty because of something the man did, or the man is being petty because something the woman did, you got to remember this one thing, right? When you have a kid, if you ever say that you would do anything for your kid, that's it. You understand? Like, if somebody, like, you have to do that. And being petty is not doing something right for your kid.
Facts.
You get what I'm saying? So, like, if you ever say you'll do anything for your kid, being petty is not it. From either side, from a woman, from a man, from somebody trying to prove a point. The only point that you've proven is that, yeah, you can feed them. Yeah, you can put them, help them get to school and all that. And yeah, they'll grow up good, a strong man, but they're still missing something. No matter how old they get, no matter who they be around, no matter how good of a man or a woman they are, that kid always, or child, needs their father and their mother for both sides. It doesn't matter what anybody says. Nobody can ever tell me that I raised my kid and they good. No, they're not. They still need something.
They need something.
They may be good to you because in front of your face they're smiling, they're happy, and they became this great man, but they still missing something inside.
Facts. I agree 100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. Even I have both my parents, and it's, you know, sometimes the parent can do the best job that they can do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't hold them to it, but you know, don't deprive them from experiencing that relationship that they may need from that male or female role model. You know, me and you had a conversation. I'm gonna give you this real quick. I want you to fill us out by era.
I can't even remember. See, I knew he was gonna come to this, but I'm still stuck with this.
Yeah, this is all about your era. I had Phil up here. Phil was up here with P. Grease the other day.
Yeah.
I gave him one. He said, "Oh, we can do it by era." So, meaning that's your era. I don't need you to worry about me at all, our era at all. That's only for your era. I need you to fill that out for your era. You're gonna do that for your era. You know what I'm saying? Because we're gonna come back to that. We're gonna revisit this on another date. You know what I'm saying? Anybody you want to work with?
That's a tough one, man. That's a tough one because I would want to work with, it's a lot of people, and it's hard to say, but I would really just want to, like, if I could really really learn from somebody, or just spend a couple days with it, be like I'll be honest with you, be like probably like Martin Lawrence or Will Smith, and I know that's going outside of it. Yeah, but I'm speaking into existence, right? They're no different than me in the sense of bleeding or anything else, so I'd rather aim for something high. And I'm not to say that I haven't been around other people, like how he was saying Queen's Flip. I think he's dope. I think like a lot of other IG comedians is dope. But that's not like my overall goal, is to like be just a comedian. I don't want to be in front of the camera, really, to be honest with you.
Sound like me.
I don't. Like, so like,
that sound like me
so
right now.
Me saying like a specific actor or actress is like, no, like I would like to put a great cast together and do a great movie, or something of that, like a couple great movies. But right now, for me, it's just growing, so I can't really pinpoint who I would want to work with right now in that kind of space. But if I could work with any and everybody, I would. That is on the same wavelength and energy as me. Yeah, I would. That's all I got.
That's a great answer. Hey, yo, come here, Dominican on Stone Cold. I want y'all to before Rain, tell me your IG and stuff real quick.
Oh yeah, check out my IG. It's rainchecklive. It's just how it's spelled, RAIN, and then check. And then live,
Make sure you follow my guy.
Find me, and then that's my personal page. My business page is the same thing, rainchecklive_productions. That's it. Check me out, baby. Hey, baby, I got to go, baby. You always call me like that to do something. Hey, I want a real. Oh shit.
You got time, man. We good?
Yeah, here we go. Damn, baby, you can call me, baby. I can't do this. I'm out here working. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I want a real Q&A, baby. Making a question and answer the question, baby. You talk to me, I talk to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get all these ladies, baby. They keep paging me. This your boy Rain. We out here on a real Q&A question and answer. Check us out. Check me out, Rain Check Live, and check them out.